everyone, so second video review for this week is for The Real World by Kathleen Jowitt. If you want to check out my Goodreads review, I did just post that the other day, so if you're on YouTube there's a link in the description below, and if you're on Facebook on my blog then there's a link within the post. And this is the video review. So The Real World by Kathleen Jowitt is an absolutely great story. It follows some characters that we've seen before in a previous book, so it's actually a follow-on from Speak Its Name, which the characters are then, I've read Speak Its Name, so I'm familiar with the characters, but if you're not familiar with the characters, absolutely fine, because there's enough background and enough explaining going on in this story as well for you to get a sense of them. So Colette, she is really trying hard not to think about what happens if she finishes her PhD and the future, and she's doing all this whilst trying to navigate through quite the complicated life that she shares with her girlfriend, who's facing a massive career dilemma that kind of affects them both. So feeling a bit overwhelmed and a little bit alone in it all, we're basically spending time with Colette as she's dealing with the real world in quite the real sense. There's a lot of questions she's got, and there's a lot of things she has to consider, not only for herself but also for Lydia, who's her girlfriend. So I absolutely love this story. It follows on, like I say, from Speak Its Name, and it's so refreshing to read stories that are relatable and typically a reflection of a very realistic scenario, so just life in general, but they have a bit of a twist. So it again carried themes quite religiously of religion, and that is exactly what Speak Its Name did as well. So we're really keeping strong with that theme, and that is because Colette and Lydia, they are within that career circle where religion is part of those careers. So not all of us ever really are going to face the challenge that Colette and Lydia do, because they face challenges when it comes to religion that are not just to do with their own belief and own faith and own cultures. It's a career, so it's not just their own sort of morals that they're considering and their own actions. This has bigger consequences for the rest of their lives. It's insane how much the decisions they make here are going to impact everything they decide to do and their careers. So Lydia, she wants to become a vicar, and she's never been interested in marrying Colette. She's always made it very clear that it's going to be her career. And then suddenly she's really interested in marrying Colette, and they face this decision together, and yet it's also a decision they have to make alone, because it's a selfish decision as well. Whatever they decide, whether they decide to do it or not, is going to affect one, the other, or both. So that is a big central point in this. It's their relationship and how that's going to affect their careers and everything. So for me, when Kathleen writes these stories, I can really sense the angst and the difficulties that Colette and Lydia face planning for the future, because when you've decided on a career path and then your own sort of actions are going to affect that, you have to decide what's more important, what your heart wants or what you wanted in the first place. And then that might be the same thing, but it might not be, and life's complicated and it throws things in for you, and the real world definitely throws things in for you that you didn't expect, which I think is exactly what happens to Lydia in these stories. She was not expecting what she's found, and therefore it's changing her whole future. But that's the same scenario for Colette, but for different reasons. So they're going through the same thing but completely different, and to have such indecisive feelings because consciously the morals and the career affects, you know, what the heart wants. So her morals are telling her one thing, her heart's telling her another in some respects, and it must be quite a challenge that a lot of us perhaps don't have to consider because of our career choice being so sort of regimented, because that's the problem that Lydia's got. It's very regimented, it's controlled. She really doesn't have a choice, and she does and doesn't. It's really complicated for her, and I love the way that Kathleen really explores these issues with these characters. She handles them very sensitively and she considers everything. There's a lot of thought and care gone into it, and how they make those decisions, but it really was quite the reflection of how the real world challenges us every day. They literally face a challenge every day, and with every decision about life we make, we face a challenge. So, and I loved that this covered a whole year for them. It followed their life for a year in monthly chapters, so you're getting a month at a time, and you could literally see how they were tackling challenges they encountered accurately, and reflecting just how much can also happen in a year. So it was really, really clever in that respect, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for Colette and Lydia. So I do hope that we're going to see more of them in future, because I think they have some interesting questions and they have some interesting decisions to make, and I want to know what those are going to be. I do. I really want to know what the future holds for them. So I'm really hoping we will see them again. But I really, really enjoyed the book. It's one to make you think. You really have to sit down, concentrate on it, and be in the moment with them. And it will make you quite contemplative, that's the right word, and you'll think about things. And especially, like, you'll think about how your own life, you know, is sort of a little bit of a reflection of this, like, decisions you've made and decisions you've had to make. It's quite reflective as well in terms of bringing back memories and things that you've gone through. So I really like that as a book, and it gives it something, it gives it a different level, which is really exciting as well. So I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope you will too. I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of The Real World by Kathleen Jowitt, which I hope you will. If you've read The Real World, I would love to hear your thoughts on it, so please comment below, please get involved. And if you haven't read it yet, but it's on your to be read list, you're planning to read it, or you're now really, really intrigued and thinking, I must read that, again, it would be great to hear from you, so please get in touch, please comment below. And if you do read it, I hope you enjoy it. Bye!